Starter Bank's brand promise is to bring the innovations to the banking industry in Slovakia for already years. But what does it mean being innovative? Spending a lot of money on playing with something fancy stuff, playing with fintech startups, or what? For me is to be brave. Because if something works, it's already obsolete, and if we bring something new, there is a risk it will fail, it doesn't work, we are at risk of our brand name failing and so on. So, of course, question is, title is face biometry, whether we started with a face biometry? No. We have some way with the biometry since 2011, when we started handwriting signature recognition. And it was the first time also our management, the risk management and compliance officers came together with some statistical technology, which is a biometry, because there is no answer yes or no, but some ratio, and you have to believe that if it's above some level, that it's okay. And with handwriting, we have to present also on the people on the branches that the technology is able to recognize even if you put 3 crosses in a tablet, it's able to distinguish the 2 persons. And since the time, we have 0 frauds based on a signature or some different identity on the branches. And it allows our people on the branches to focus on the sales process, supporting the client, and not on the verification of some signature. Because also for me, as I going to the branch every 5 years, I'm not able to make the signature the same. So then we step ahead and we implemented voice recognition, voice biometry, free speech, no some specific sentences, but really free speech recognition in 2013, which was one of the first implementation of this kind of technology around here. Since the time, I think we are only bank here who is still using it, and only one another telco company using voice biometry. And this also allows us, it's not just that you call to the call center and you don't need another second factor, but it allows us to bring the remote advisory, remote relationship management with the clients to call center. We are affluent bank, we have personal bankers for the clients, but you would not bother with a personal banker over the phone if you need to dig out some OTPs and so on. So 2013. And in 2014, we tried face biometry. 2014, it's not 2018, 19, what we played for 5 years. We implemented something we called DAC, because we implemented, okay, great, we have a special interface to Ministry of Interior, we have some technology to recognize faces. Okay, let's publish the web page where the students who can fill up some application form, upload the picture, photo, and we will match it and open an account. What we found out, the students were uploading various pictures. As there's GDPR, I am not able to publish it, but also they uploaded some dogs, ducks, some group photos from the beaches and so on. Of course, this is not the way how you can actually open the account. So we step ahead to something which we called online, because we realized that to be successful, you need something where you can actually instruct and have some immediate response to the user that, okay, if you are taking the selfie, you have to be in a good light right now and not give the feedback in 5 hours that someone actually checked the photo is wrong. So technology moved a bit, and also there were some legal changes in Slovakia with anti-money laundering law changed, which allows us also to introduce new technology as a secure way to authenticate the clients in Slovakia. So, and now here we have new to bank process that are for new to bank clients, where you can anywhere, anytime, actually become a client of the Tatar Bank, as far as you have Slovak passport, because we are not in Philippines, luckily in this case. So it's for the Slovak citizens now with a Slovak ID, and all you need is a smartphone and personal ID. And even more, because the opening account is one step, we are able even to sell you the consumer loan instantly if you are employed in Slovakia. And how does it work is maybe better to show, because, you know, once seen is better than I will have some slides. So now we can switch to the, hopefully this device here. Great. So you download Tatar Bank's mobile application, which is used by our existing clients for the mobile banking. And there is a new option, maybe not seen there, below the activation application, I am not a client, where we are now offering current account package or digital loan. I will show you the just first beginning, and so it doesn't matter which product. On the beginning, we will ask client to give us some details. It means lead to move on, and especially the phone number. So if anyone would like to go to beer later evening, you can just call me. And of course, there's some consents. We have the GDPR and all the stuff. And we will confirm the mobile phone number to move on. What we learn is that it's important to have the process. I have a very strong PIN. And because, of course, anyone actually could interrupt you, call you, you have some phone call in the middle, you want to come back. So you set up the PIN, and you can at any time come back to the process. And we will move on with the personal ID. Luckily, I'm not the first person now today presenting the personal ID. So, and what is important that we are extracting the both sides of the personal ID, because the permanent residency is on the second page and not in this machine readable zone. So we are extracting the data. There are 19, as far as I remember, secure elements on the Slovak personal ID. Only two are visible in the normal light conditions. So we realized that, okay, it's fine, but it's not really possible to confirm that it's not a fake ID. So now, in this moment, we are requesting Ministry of Interior whether these data are correct or not linked to this personal ID. Second step is the selfie, of course. So, of course, this is a dot tracking. It was already mentioned today. Now, we are comparing the selfie, and we compare the selfie with the selfie collected, also the selfie which we took during the process of the liveness. And now, we've got the response from the Ministry of Interior, which compared the picture with the picture which was stored by the government when I actually applied for the personal ID, and the response was that that's me, and we are telling to the client that, okay, but you are already client, so please log on to the application as a client. If you are not the client, then you move on with some questions, and now we can switch back to the presentation. And we were through this process, and this is the way how we actually confirm that that's me. I'm using, of course, the pictures of the persons. I'm able to get the GDPR consent easily. So this is the picture which I took from my passport, biometric passport, which is stored in high resolution of Ministry Interior. We have one score here. We have the selfie, and we also compare the picture from the personal ID together. And if it's everything above the threshold, then that's me. And you end up, when you go through that, you confirm all the consents and the agreements within the application, and you end up in the application, mobile application, with a newly opened account. So you immediately have IBAN Slovak account. You can actually transfer money there. You can send money out, and you are logging to the application using the PIN, and you have some limits, 3,000 euro per day, and you can, in our ATM machines, withdraw money using the mobile application just with the code. You don't need the debit card. And, which is in top of that, we are able to continue with the consumer loan application. So we recognize me as a person. If I'm employed, I can actually apply for the loan. We are able to check with the social insurance company in Slovakia what is my income if I'm employed in Slovakia. We can online calculate all the debt to income and all the regulatory requirements and risk requirements, and we can actually give you up to the 30,000 consumer loan instantly, means within a minute, 2-3 minutes, if it's during the day. So, and you can immediately disburse money or go to the ATM machine. And of course, you would ask, okay, that there was a very nice list of the risks presented from the Philippines a few minutes ago. A very similar list we have, and we were also testing the system using the dog and all the stuff, trying to fake the liveness check and so on. And then we find out how the people are really trying to do it. Yeah? So also we found out that actually you've seen this instruction that, okay, keep it perpendicular. But we found out, okay, the people are using it like that, but like this, because they're laying in the beds or even in the bath, I don't know, for some reason. And what is also interesting, that especially young men, students, are taking pictures without the shirt. I have no idea why, but yes. And also, okay, this .NET dot tracking is something which is already presented by Innovatrics some time, but when we started the project, there was no dot yet. We ran the project tender, RFP, a couple of providers actually doing some proof of the concept for us, and we were playing with something which we called face gymnastics, because there was a long years ago famous video that just blink with the eye and it is a liveness check, but you can fool this with just piece of paper. So we tried, okay, there will be some random instructions what to do with the face, like move head to the left. But then we found out, okay, move the head to the left, but you don't see the end of the instruction. So that was really, we were playing with it a lot, and then luckily Innovatrics came with this dot, which is definitely less immersive to the client. And question is whether this just for fun or just being innovative, or it's giving us some benefits. Yes, okay, we've got some prices and so on. What is for me interesting is that it's the first time I think the bank got some IT project price. But what is very important is that since May 2018, when we started this, 20 to 30% of our new sales production overall is done using this channel. So not only the students, but also the adults. So also really the people between 35, 45, even up to the 65, I think, they're opening the accounts using the just mobile application. And when we ask them whether it's okay, fine, we call them back. Yes, it was easy. I was able to do it even on the toilet. It was one answer. And from the performance point of view, the fastest in the last year, the opening of the full account was 3 minutes and some seconds. And for the loan, which is definitely more complex and full scoring application, it was 8 minutes and something. So it's in production. We opened a couple of thousands of the accounts since last year and a couple of millions of the new volume of the sales in the loans. So it really brings us business. And of course, it's just the beginning. You can call this MVP because we started it somehow. Now we are collecting the data. We were able even upgrade technology of Ministry of Interior because they have different biometric technology, which was old from 2014, and we had quite high ratio of the people who didn't pass through that. And when we check it manually, we find out that, okay, also by the Innovatrics iFace and also by this visual check, it was really the same person, but we were like too conservative on the ministry side. And with the threshold, now after the upgrade, we have really like more than 90% of the throughput, or even more. We are still a bit conservative, of course, because we are still the bank and in EU. So, and for future, we definitely would like to actually plug this together with this credit card, with the mortgage over the call center. So now we are able to consult this only with the client, but with this you can also introduce your wife, which she's not the client. So there is a future, and but as with everything, you have to be properly organized and in an organization to actually introduce this kind of the technology. That's my message. As with the voice biometry, we had to spend some years also with the people on the branches to onboard the clients. With the face biometry, it's the first biometry where you don't need to onboard the client because you have some independent validation. So, but you have to work with it because, for example, with the loans, yes, there are people who are doing it completely self-service, but you are able to get another 20-30% out of the business, more business, if you introduce it as an omni-channel. If we are monitoring the people who abandon the process or they have some problems, we call them from the call center regularly. We are checking the reports during the day. We call them, do you have any problem? Can we help you? And we are able to convert it to the new business. So it's actually the digital channels are not competing the branches. It's together bringing us more business. So that's my suggestion, that it's not just one way or another, but the combination is bringing us more opportunities, like when we started selling the consumer loans in the mobile phone for the existing clients, we increased the sales. Actually, we sold even more in the branches and in something more in the mobile phone. So it's not definitely just the toy, it's for us the pure business.